Are you searching for some great anytime touchdown props to put together for week 5 of the NFL season? Well, stick around. I have an anytime touchdown parlay for you on this episode of the IDP Plus Touchdown Props podcast. Welcome back to another week of the IDP Plus Anytime Touchdown Props podcast, where every week I've been putting together a parlay for you guys, and then even after the fact, going ahead and putting in some alternate guys for you guys to just have some options to play with each and every week. So we're going to actually go ahead and jump into it. For this week, I've got a 3-leg parlay that comes in at plus 720 on DraftKings. So if we hit here, we're looking at over 7 times our cash. But I feel great about this week. I know we've kind of had a little rough ride to get here, but I feel good about going into this week with a little more data to kind of look at. So up first here, our first leg is going to be Kenneth Walker to get an anytime touchdown this week at minus 175. They have a home game against the New York Giants this week. I'm sure everybody is well aware of the viral clip of Kenneth Walker refusing to be taken down last week. I think that's just a testament to his mentality on the field. We love to see that in a running back, somebody who just refuses to go down, has even a nose for the end zone. I mean, 4 touchdowns in 2 games played is pretty ridiculous, especially considering last week was against a stout Lions rush defense who had only allowed 150 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground to running backs in the first 3 weeks. And then Kenneth Walker comes out and gets multiple touchdowns. That I'd say just more, it adds a testament to his mentality on the field. And I really love this, considering that Geno is also one of the most efficient passers in the league, being able to complete over, I would say, probably over 70% of his passes are roughly around there, meaning this offense is able to sustain drives, push the ball down the field, and get into scoring position. And when you get into scoring position, who else are you going to hand it to than one of your running backs who has in Kenneth Walker, who has been 2 for 2 inside the gold zone, which is inside the 5-yard line on his rush attempts. He's converted on all of his attempts inside the 5. So if they can get within the 10 or get in the red zone and push the ball up in the inside the 5, I feel really good about Ken Walker being able to punch it in, because this team really just, they'll give the running backs the first opportunity to score and then revert to their wide receivers after the fact when they get that close. So I really like Kenneth Walker to kind of be one of our anchor plays this week that we feel really good about hitting. So we're going to ride that momentum into week 5 with this home matchup against the Giants. Our second leg here is Jaden Reed to get an anytime touchdown at minus 125, and that game is at LA to play against the Rams. Jaden Reed is Jordan Love's go-to receiver. That's no secret. He obviously does a lot better when Love is in the game, considering he's got a touchdown in both games that Love has started, and he didn't score in the last couple of weeks when Malik Willis was quarterback. He's just not a great passer, doesn't really know how to completely operate this offense. So I really like Jaden Reed going into week 5, playing against the LA Rams, who are pretty suspect in the secondary. We know the usage will be there. Watson is out. That helps even more. And considering the promising matchup against the Rams, who have allowed the second most touchdowns to opposing wide receivers in the league with 7 through 4 weeks. So we're almost averaging 2 wide receiver touchdowns each week against this defense. So that's a big reason why I feel great about Reed in week 5. I was kind of waiting last week to see how Love would operate, but it seems like he kind of just picked it right up where he left off. So we really love to see that. And I think the Packers actually keep it rolling this week in week 5 with several touchdowns. And I would imagine that Reed is one of the first ones to get one. Fun fact, he actually has been the first Green Bay playmaker or Green Bay player to score in each of the games that Love has started this year. So he's definitely the one they target first. So I've also kind of been looking at Dontavian Wicks. I wouldn't put him in my most confident play for you guys, but just somebody I'll be sprinkling in this week with Christian Watson out. I think there's a good chance that if they get multiple scores, Wicks will probably find one as well. But for our initial 3, we'll go ahead and go with the most secure, our guy I feel most comfortable about, and Jaden Reed. Our last leg here is Justin Fields at plus 190 to get an anytime touchdown at home against the Dallas Cowboys. The Pittsburgh are surprisingly undefeated at 4-0. And this has not been a fluke. They've really fought in these games, and they've been close, and they've just battled it out. His Fields of rushing has been big in their wins. He's got 3 touchdowns on the ground now through 4 weeks. The defense is also a big factor in my play here, as the defense has been able to keep the games close. Keeping games within reach means that we have more usage of Fields on the ground. More usage of Fields on the ground means we have more opportunities for touchdowns. And then we don't really have to worry about Fields airing it out, because we know that Fields isn't known for his passing ability. Although he's been more successful this season, we're really banking on that rushing ability. So I think the defense is going to keep this game close. And I think that Fields will continue to be able to rush the ball, as he's seen, I think, more than 6 rushing attempts in each of his first 4 games. So I think that continues. I don't think we have to worry about Russell Wilson or anything like that. So if we just talk about Fields and his red zone usage, he's seen 5 attempts inside the gold zone, inside that 5-yard line, and he's converted on 3 of those attempts. He's got 3 more touchdowns and 3 more attempts than Najee Harris, who's not been able to convert yet this year for the Steelers. So if we're talking about this team getting inside the red zone and looking to score on the ground, is probably going to be their first option through the ground. We're looking at Justin Fields to get the main goal line usage, or be the most reliable for this team. He, like I said, 3 out of 5 of his attempts have landed in the end zone. So, this team's really going to want to punch it in and stay in with the Cowboys, who have been leading the league in points for like the last couple of years, or been among the top 5. So you're gonna have to score. So, but I also think that the defense is going to keep the Cowboys in check, at least within reach for Justin Fields to do his thing. And he's the most reliable rusher to score on this offense, in close to inside the red zone and goal to go situations. And he's seen over twice the number of attempts or touches than anybody else on this team in the red zone. So Justin Fields is the guy. He's the one that's going to get the best opportunity to score. And I think Dallas may have looked a little bit better last week in their matchup against the Giants, but we're also talking about the New York Giants. And I'm mostly talking about the Dallas rush defense, because going into last week, they'd been the most generous to opposing running backs, as you guys may well know, where Singletary kind of fell short for us last Thursday night. But I don't think this is going to hold up for Dallas. They just lost Micah Parsons, and I think that was, I'm not going to say it was a total fluke, but you're not going to see a 20-yard game from on the ground from Najee Harris, and I feel like Justin Fields should be let loose in this game, because the Dallas Cowboys have actually been pretty generous to rushing quarterbacks. They've allowed the sixth most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks, and even 2 rushing touchdowns to quarterbacks in the first 4 weeks of the season. They let Derek Carr punch one in on the ground in week 2. So I feel really good about the rushing game in this one, and I think Justin Fields is going to get the first opportunity to punch it in the end zone. So that's going to wrap up our parlay here, again with all 3 legs of Kenneth Walker, Jayden Reed, and Justin Fields. We have an anytime touchdown parlay that will pay out at plus 720 if all 3 legs hit. So I'm hoping that we can really gain some steam in this week, and have some momentum to kind of carry on into the rest of the season. Let's all be responsible with these plays. Bear with me. It is Wednesday night I'm recording, but tonight and tomorrow I'll be looking to get you guys some alternates in the comments. So check that out, just for if you don't like any legs, you come into it late or something, and you want to switch some things up or play your own, have plenty of options to play with. I'll be throwing that into the comments too. So stay tuned for that. And let me know if you tail. Reach out to me on Twitter at XmanIDP. Send me some questions, comment, like, subscribe, whatever you need to do. I'm going to be here keeping tabs on everything. So let's chat, let's talk some football, and let's try to win everybody some money this week. But I'm going to remind everybody, let's be responsible at the same time. Betting on anytime touchdowns is not easy. We're not always going to hit. So we don't want to overdo it. We don't want to place bets that are out of our budget, and we want to stay within reason. So I still feel good about this week, but again, we don't want to get too crazy. So these are just recommendations, and we're all just kind of trying to have fun here. So let's hope we can come home with some extra money to take our significant others out to dinner this week. So good luck, everybody, this week. Let's be responsible, and hopefully we can win some extra cash. Good luck.
Thank you for watching the IDP Plus YouTube network. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content.